everybody, and welcome to another episode here on Milwaukee Beer Review. As always, I'm Josh.
I'm Ross.
And today we are heading to O'so Brewing Company out of Clover, Wisconsin.
Plover, Wisconsin.
Plover. PC, they kind of sound the same. Plover, Wisconsin. And you said that's pretty close to Stevens Point?
Yeah, it's real close to Stevens Point. It's actually not that far away also from Amherst, so it's kind of nice if you're in the Milwaukee area, head up there, pop over Central Waters, a nice little trip.
So what we've got here for you is, standard for the channel. We've got a couple of barrel-aged stouts to try. Now, O'so releases Narcissist, which is what we're going to try here every single year. I've had previous years before, have not had the 2023 release yet. This just recently actually released and came out here in the marketplace. So we're going to try this year's Narcissist. Now there's two different variants available. There is a bourbon barrel aged version, which is the first one we're going to try, and then there's a rye barrel aged version, which is the second one we're going to try here. So Ross, any other thoughts before we dive in?
Both come in at 10.5%. So right in our wheelhouse. So I mean,
a little
low for us, but no, that's about it. So,
yeah, all right. Let's get a little nose on the bourbon barrel aged version of O'so's Narcissist.
I mean, the thing about these, there's no adjuncts. It's the stout and it's the barrel, and that's it.
Yep.
And it's prominent on the nose. You can really get that barrel kind of scent behind everything. I mean, it's
kind of that oaky, vanilla, smoky flavor on the nose. But there's also kind of like, it's very chocolatey, fudgy. I get a lot of chocolate, fudgy, vanilla characteristics. This is a really good nose. And I remember historically this always having a really good nose, being actually kind of surprised at how good the nose is. Not like a sharp bourbon note. It's just a it's
prominent, but it's not, it doesn't have like the burning feeling you sometimes get. It's not really there.
Yep.
So, all
right, give it a shot.
Cheers.
Cheers. Just really smooth, really creamy.
Super smooth. On the palate, it's a little light in the beginning, but like it really starts to kind of like explode with all those flavors and that profile on the back end. And as you said, I think the best word is super smooth the whole way through. Are you getting like the vanilla chocolatey notes as well? Okay, yeah,
for sure.
That's what I'm definitely getting, which is clearly coming out from the barrel. But the base stout on this just has to be good because this is a solid beer, and you have to have a good base in order to get those flavors.
It's weird because you kind of made the call out. It is a little bit thin. You know, the mouthfeel on this is a little bit thin. It's not a heavy mouthfeel. And in fact, it's very consistent, but it's weird because it starts off, it feels so thin.
Yeah.
But then the vanilla and kind of the chocolatey oak and barrel characters kind of kick up about midway through the palate, and the way it finishes a lot more viscous than it starts, which is kind of weird, but in kind of a good way. It's a very, very tasty beer. I don't know. Going Untappd on Narcissist on the bourbon barrel aged version, I'm probably going a 4 on this. I actually really like it. If I had to suggest anything, I would like to get a little more punch from it right out the bat, but on the front end of the beer. But it's a good beer.
I think 4 is perfect for this one. This is to me one of the more like underrated or undervalued beers that gets released every single year. We talk a lot about different barrel-aged beers that we like and enjoy, and this is one that just kind of quietly sits under the radar. It's always really, really good, and you just don't hear anyone ever talking about it all that much. I think it's really good. I completely agree. It's a really good 4.
Okay.
So,
all right. What's up next?
So moving on, everything's basically the same, but this time it's aged in rye whiskey barrels as opposed to bourbon barrels. We've done a lot of stuff. We've done bourbon and rye. There's always a nice little subtle differences to it, but let's get a little nose on it, find out.
Get a little nose. You can tell it's rye right on the nose.
Yeah, slightly tamer than the bourbon. I don't think it's as prominent, but it's definitely it's got a different flavor profile.
Yeah, it's got that. I always say earthier, but like it's got that earthier kind of, a little bit sweeter nose to it.
The vanilla and the chocolate that we're getting in the bourbon aren't as prominent here. I think it's kind of being replaced by like kind of more like earthy tone, earthy notes.
The earthy sweet characters from the rye whiskey. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Check it out.
Cheers.
Cheers.
So for me, this one kind of offers up a little bit what we were missing in the first one. A lot more flavor up front. It's maybe not as smooth. It's got a little bit more of a, in my opinion, a little more of a spirit bite.
It
but it packs more of a flavor in the front of the palate. Creates a little bit of a heavier, more mouthfeel than the previous one.
I agree with you on the spirit character piece. I do think it's still missing a bit on the front end. I feel like the front end is still a little bit weak.
Okay.
But I do agree with you that the spirit character from the barrel plays a bigger role here. Mouthfeel is very similar. I think this feels maybe a little more viscous up front because the spirit hits earlier. But pretty similar mouthfeel on both of these. I like rye whiskey, and I think this is really, really good. But trying these two back-to-back, I actually think I would prefer the bourbon barrel-aged version than the rye whiskey barrel-aged version. I feel like you might be opposite.
Slightly. I mean, what you offer in the difference here is the bourbon barrel gives you more of that like fudgy, vanilla taste note that you get from some spirits. This offers you more of a spirit-forward stout between the two. I actually, I'm just going right to Untappd. I'm actually going to give this also a 4 with a slight better than the first one. So they're both 4s. They're both right there, but I just like this a little bit more because I kind of like that more spirit-forward taste I'm getting on this one.
I think I am going to drop it a quarter. I think I'm going to go 3.75 on this. I think they're both really, really good. I remember the rye whiskey barrel being slightly better than this historically from when I've had it in the past. That doesn't mean that this is bad. This is a good beer. But I was actually thinking this would win for me between these two. And I'm a little bit disappointed, and maybe I set myself up for failure there a little bit. But still think this is a really, really good beer. If you see these out in the marketplace and you're a barrel-aged beer fan, check them out.
Absolutely get them. They're just good to have, and they're a dangerous 10.5. They're not heavy. Like, you wouldn't realize they're 10.5 until after you drink a couple, and then you realize it's 10.5. But it doesn't feel, it doesn't drink that way, which is really nice. And especially this time of year. This is a great beer for this time of year.
Agreed. All right. Well, good stuff from O'so in Plover, Wisconsin. I think this is the first time we've done O'so solo on the channel. So, welcome to the channel, O'so. Thanks a lot for watching. Have you tried these beers? Do you like Narcissist? Are we completely off here? How narcissistic are we?
Nice.
Yeah, you like that?
Had that one queued up.
Right there, boom. If you've tried these, let us know what you think in the comments. And check us out on the rest of our social media channels. We are on Untappd, we are on Facebook, we are on Twitter, we are on Instagram, and we are also here on YouTube. So like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see all of you in a future episode.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.